Good morning to those of you that are on the East Coast. Let me know that you can hear and see me right now by putting a one in the chat. If you're watching the replay, I want to say to you this is going to be a very important live stream, probably one of the most important live streams that you have ever heard in this year, last year, and the year before. Because what I'm going to be sharing with you in 2026 this conversation began in 2024. And so I'm going to catch you up. And then we're going to look all the way until 2044. On today, I'm going to share publicly what I normally only share with my private community. But there is something that we're working on for those that are in the community and those that are signed up to my Amazon store, that follow my books on Amazon.com. We're setting something up for you so that you will have a guide as relates to the times. This Aquarius window, the age of Aquarius, 2024 to 2044. I'm going to catch you up. I want you to listen. If you in real estate, if you are in stocks, if you have international real estate, if you're the head of a business, maybe you head up a ministry, maybe you're working with someone that sits at the head of a Fortune 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 company. I want you to take what I'm going to tell you, and then I want you to use it, extrapolate it, so that you can make the best decisions for you. If you're the head of a household, you absolutely need to be listening. So I want you to take the link and I want you to send it out right now to everybody before you even know where the conversation is going to go. I'm going to run a few commercials, then I'm going to come back and begin the conversation. Absolutely. You're watching Larry Reid Live, and I'm your church and cultural critic. And I give unfiltered commentary, but I'm also a spiritual teacher. And in my community, we have these kinds of conversations all the time, and it has allowed so many people to know what is happening before it's even discussed. So you see it on your TV. And some of you that have followed the Larry Live show over the past few years, since 2020 particularly, you know that that is true. You need to be following my Facebook page because really that's like Larry Reid Live News. And you also need to be following my stories on Facebook and on IG if you just want to get into the Larry Live life. And then on IG and TikTok, you'll get clips from the Larry Reid Live show. And so follow the stories, the YouTube shorts, follow the IG and Facebook stories for a look into just my life. Make sure you follow facebook.com/Larry Live for Larry Live News. And then you get clips from the show on TikTok and also on IG. And we're going to be rolling out something new on this platform very soon. 3 days ago, I took about 7 hours to construct it with my AI assistant. And we're going to be rolling that out and setting up a brand new platform really, really soon that is going to be full of information. So save this video, share the link right now. You're going to need to come back to this video, part 4 of the tipping point, which is one half of the theme for the year 2026. The theme for the year 2026, and I told you in 2025, is the turning point, and that there is a tipping point that we are arriving to and we're coming to fairly quickly. And this is where we're going to sit for a little bit. And I'm going to tell you what is going to be happening. I'm going to show you how you at home on your own can be looking at certain things so that you can know scientifically, astrologically, numerically what is happening. Now, if you are a person that meditate, you pray. I'm an African Christian. I believe in being filled with the Holy Ghost and the Holy Spirits that come from the divine intelligence. Father God, Mother God, the divine intelligence, the source, the creator, and the maker. I believe that we all are an extension of it, and you have been filled up with and allowed that spirit to overtake you to the point to where you speak with tongues, you move with your body, you do dances, you do rituals, and you do certain workings working with the spirit and creating the world that you desire using your mouth, your mind, and your methods. Mouth, mind, and methods. Put it in the chat. I must use my mouth, my mind, and these divine methods in order to get the life that I want. And if you do that, you have a direct connection with source that can speak to you and tell you about the things that are coming. And that is great. And I would say that as relates to certain things, it's enough. But you need to know the prophetic sciences, the data, how to handle information, how to look at that was created by source's hand, the making, the creator that's in the heavens, that scientists still can't figure out, a world that our smartest and brightest people still don't have answers for certain things. Now, that is who you need to have connection with. But if you can look at those things and how they move, and you start learning what they are, understanding time and seasons, the math that is tied to the movement of the bodies over your head that no man's controlling, I think that will cause your knowledge depth to be even deeper. So I'm going to give you some things today. I'm going to suggest to you a book that I suggested to my community years ago. Before I get off, I want you to go to my Amazon store. I want you to get the book. The link to the store is going to be in there. Midway of this 2-hour conversation, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me that you enjoyed what I shared. How you do that? By supporting the nonprofit that I work for, MBN Global. The link is going to be put there. And then if you want to support Dr. Larry D. Reid Ministries that also assist me as well, you can do and practice the Teruma with that entity. So there'll be 2 links that will be dropped, and those are the ways that we receive donations here, as well as Zelle. So that's going to happen about midway. I'm going to suggest to you a book. I'm going to drop some information. If you haven't been watching the first 3 parts, you're going to still be able to follow us if you just give me your ear for about almost 2 hours now, about 1 hour and 45 minutes. I'll be right back. We are about to get started.
Looking for a vibrant community where faith meets empowerment? Welcome to the LRL community on Patreon. Here, you'll gain access to our financial wellness plan to level up your money game and the Build Your Immune System Health and Wellness Lifestyle Plan to keep your health in check. But that's not all. With the groundbreaking AIR project, we're creating jobs in Africa, beginning in Ghana. Plus, you'll unlock insider tips from senior executives across industries. And the best part? Be a part of our daily prayers, weekly coaching sessions with Dr. Larry Reid himself, Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Breakdown Q&A Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on Patreon, and so much more. It's time to connect, grow, and thrive. Get the apps, grab the merch, and join us on patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Let's build something amazing together. The LRL community is waiting for you. Multimedia personality, comedic commentator, songwriter, recording artist, spiritual leader, author, and actor. Larry D. Reid is the founder of MBN Global, owner of LDR Enterprises based out of Atlanta, Georgia, and the spiritual leader of the Reformation Church of Atlanta. You can catch Larry Reid on the BET Plus original series Kingdom Business and on American Gangster Trap Queens, streaming online at BET.plus. Church Critic by Dr. Larry D. Reid, an examination of the Larry Reid Live Show perspective. Available now on Amazon and Kindle. Inside, he shares his unfiltered perspectives on the issues the church often avoids: the role of women, deconstruction, fatherlessness, homosexuality, decolonization, and the clash between Western and African Christianity, and so much more. Get your copy today on Amazon and Kindle.
All right, are you ready to delve into this conversation and get enlightened and educated? And I hope that our conversation really causes you to do your own in-depth research And I'm going to ask everybody that is watching right now, will take a moment and hit like. If you're watching me on Facebook, please hit like. They hide me a lot there. And on YouTube, they do as well, being that we have sort of upgraded our conversation that we're having here. I'm reminded of Oprah Winfrey talking about starting the OWN network and how those 25 years when she had the Oprah Winfrey show and she had all these viewers and she started her own network, her own platform, her own channel. And everything that was up there was what she wanted to see and what she loved, which is the empowerment and the spiritual conversations and things for the soul, Super Soul Sundays. But she was suffering with viewership and she couldn't compete. And then she began to tap other people like Tyler Perry to create shows that people like, the salacious and the type conversation that pretty much anybody could relate to and be entertained by. And then her ratings went up and she found out, you got to give a little bit of this and you got to give a little bit of that. Now, if I be 100% honest, I am a little bit of this and that, and I enjoy doing this and that. But when it comes to spirituality, it's like really a huge part of my life. It's a part of my daily life. I may not, well, in my opinion, I may not be funny every day, but every day you're going to find me doing some kind of educating, reading, expanding my thinking, meditating, prayer, those type things. Now, according to my best friend, he says you're funny all the time and not even trying to, but in my mind, I'm just saying what needs to be said. I don't know what's wrong with people. Sometimes they struggle with calling a thing a thing. And sometimes you got to look at the thing and say, you, sir, ma'am, it are a thing. And that's not funny to me. That's just the reality. But I enjoy this and that. And I have created a community of this and that. Every kind of person from every walk of life is in the community or has came through the community. And I've had the privilege of undergirding them and coaching them of all ages, different pedigrees, different locations, different belief systems, and really have created, and they allow me to be African Christian and talk my talk and pray and say what I say. And some of them are Jewish. I do know one is Jewish and another one's agnostic and a Catholic and some of everything else. One don't even like to be called a Christian, but they find a space. They have found a space in Reformation, and they love the community, and I think that's amazing. Every gender, every sexuality, from the top to the to the bottom. Did I say top to bottom? Yeah, because I started talking about LBGTQAI plus, and the first thought was tops and bottoms. You see that now that may be funny to somebody, but it's just the truth. Can't remember. But anyway, so the board of directors, amazing men and women. The advisory board, amazing men and women. And then those two, which is the highest governing and advisory spaces in MBN Network Global and in the Reformation world. And we have every representation from black woman to black man, straight man, straight woman, gay woman, straight couples, gay couples, trans. You get into the celestial circle, that's the highest level of partnership. Everything is there. And then you get the MBNG partners. You got everything in there. And then in the Patreon, thousands of everything there. So I have an amazing, eclectic, hodgepodge, patchwork of people, personalities, and pedigrees, and I just absolutely love it, which is really what the LRL viewer is. I know you're watching me and you're from every walk of life. There is no judgment here at all. There's only education. I'm interested in empowering you and helping you get to where you belong, because you were born for a specific reason and a specific purpose. You are not here to just exist. There is more to life than what you are living right now, and there's more for you to do. All right. So take a moment right now while I'm talking and hit like and hit share, copy the link and text it out like y'all do all of that stuff to be online on the TikTokins. Go ahead and take it and send it out like you do the funny stuff or the gossip. And go ahead and send it out so everybody can come on in here and have the conversation. So, absolutely. Okay. All right. Somebody said this. Hey, Joanne, courageous conversation says, I am this and I am that. I know. It's a whole community of a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We got some that's more conservative than some of the others, but even that conservative person, maybe it take a little sip or it's a little puff or just a good cackle. And before you know it, then they're in the other side for a little while. I had an interesting conversation with someone in my life, one of my siblings. And they sent me a text and said, why do people not know who you are and that you're an extrovert? And I had to tell my loving sibling, I said, no, that's not correct. Larry Reid is an introvert. And anybody that know me knows that. But if you don't know me, or either you just ain't had your head in books, because I'm noticing there's a lot of folk that's allergic to books, particularly in the USA. Because the average reading level of the American citizen is 6th grade. That's the whole problem. But it's by design because it's easier to control a hijacked, uneducated mind. And I said, no, I am not an extrovert. How many extroverts we have in the chat? God bless you. God bless you. Not me. I'm an introvert. And the way that you know whether someone is an introvert or extrovert is how they charge up. It's how they charge up. It's not by their behavior. Because an introvert can look like an extrovert, and an extrovert can look like an introvert. When you look at behavior, if it's just that, but primarily how they charge up, their power source, their energy source. I get recharged being by myself. I can turn into an amazing champion that can bust out of the room and do things that nobody else can do, but I have to have my personal charge up time. It exhilarates me. It makes me feel alive. Alone does. When I'm in alone, I don't deal with loneliness, which is the sad emotion about being alone. I don't even have that. I get filled with energy and ideas and I come out ready to do it. The extrovert is the very opposite. They're around the house and they're all right for a little while, but after so long, they have to go out and be around people and engaging and talking and exchanging just charges them up. And then when they go in a long time, they're able to have so much energy, but eventually that runs out and they have to go back and engage to recharge. I have a best friend, probably the person I love the most on the face of the earth, outside of myself, is Shamako Bryant. And that is one of the opposites that people don't see. I'm an introvert, and he's an extrovert. And although they say we look alike, but when it comes to that, we ain't nothing alike because I got about 0.5 seconds of being around people before all my energy go out the door. I said, okay, I gotta go. Give me a few minutes to go in the back room and do what I need to do, sit by myself. And I have to sit there in the quiet a little bit in the car, and I come back in, I'm ready again. You see? So how many people, I'm sending in there. Oh, then ambivert, a balance of both. Yeah, okay, I see you, CJ. Erica, introvert. I am a full entire introvert. Full. Not even a little bit extrovert. Full entire. And then some of you are saying you're an ambivert. Okay. I love that. All right. So has everybody sent the link out? Have you hit like? Have you shared? For those of you that want to help us out, after the YouTube video is over and you go to that first pinned comment and it shows when this conversation started, when that conversation started. CJ, normally Kendall does it. He's going to do it. But you got that brain. Ooh, I did her personal prophecy this week. Another one that wowed me was the dials. Whew. This was an amazing week of prophecy this week. If you're watching me, how can I get one? Well, those that support us at the highest level on this platform in our community, MBN Network Global, those people, I make sure that I send them an audio and I give them, I have a sight gift, I have a little bit of mediumship, and I am a clairvoyant, and I'm able to sense and know, actually, all the clair senses, and something happens when I call, and I'm able to hear the voice of God. And so you take that ability to hear and to articulate what God is saying, and then all these other spiritual abilities that marry that, it makes for a great 3, 4, 5, sometimes 7 minutes. I was looking at Trenton this week. I was able to speak to him prophetically. That was 7 whole minutes. So if you are able and you want to, not right now, but at some time in this conversation, you will be able to donate. 4 different levels, because every viewer at different levels of their faith and finances. Everybody here can do $52.22. And today we're in the 222. And that's the reason why we're doing these seeds today. That's a master number. I'll explain it later. But those that do the super seed, it's in the goal. 52222. You are the ones that I'm going to be sending that message. But not just you will receive prophetic ministry from a master prophet. The eldest prophet I've ever birthed, which is Shamako, the stakeholder and the high performer, he's going to be calling you as well. And those of you that are Celestial Circle members or MBNG partner members, at least once a week, the partner level. And today is the first day of the week. Join us by the end of this broadcast, and we'll tell you how to do that. If you have to leave, you're like, oh, I need to know how to do the donation right quick. You can just ask one of those with the blue range, and they will drop the Stripe link to you, or one of these Zelle options you can choose. The Taruma over there on the left, that's like Dr. Reid done a great job, and you send it over there. On the right is where you put the reposturing. That reposturing, did you see that? The tipping point reposturing seed, because we're at the tipping point and you got to reposture your money. You got to reposture your business. You got to reposture your household. You have got to mentally, emotionally, metaphysically reposturing. There's a reposturing even physiologically as relates to your health and your wellness, all of that. And we're looking at the prophetic archetype Noah. But we're going to close out with that. We got to start giving you the cosmic clock. Everybody put in the chat, cosmic clock. And let me tell you how this terminology came about. This is part 4 of the tipping point in this month. And one of our curators, Nicole Johnson, who's in the Celestial Circle, who does very well with AI, is going to be on our panel when we are at our event. And I hope you're going to be at the event. If you are a patron, you can be there. Our theme this year is taking your brand business global. And we have so many panels that will be happening those days. And Nicole is on the one that has everything to do with AI, stock market, banking, and money management, all of that kind of going on. And the AI section is going to be absolutely crazy with her and Luana. Some of the rest of them on the same one, and Latina. That's going to be crazy. Well, anyway, she, along with DM Pair, has been taking what has been taught and making visuals and like infographics that have been absolutely phenomenal. Just summarizing everything. And now she's taking on a project of turning the Turning Point, Tipping Point series into a book. And one of the sections in there, she calls it the cosmic clock. And that just hit. And it was too short. I said, there's so much more that I need to put in this. And I was actually going to do it last Sunday, but I didn't get to it. And I only got to number 1, 2, 3 in the personal tipping point aspects when there are 6 of them. So this is what I'm going to have to do today. I'm going to have to do the cosmic clock, give you what I have unearthed in the heavens and seen. I'm going to speak to you a prophecy that I heard when I was in the bathroom. And then I am going to give you the last 3 for your personal tipping point information, evaluations, and this is going to close out the series. And then Wednesday inside of Patreon is the Q&A. You can ask me any question that you want to ask me, but you got to be in Patreon. The way that you get into Patreon is patreon.com/Larry Reid Live. Come on over there Wednesday. The link drops somewhere around 7 o'clock. It'll be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for me here. And I start answering your questions at the very the whole live is answering your questions, okay? Okay. Y'all putting in the chat, Cosmic Clock. Okay, so we're about to go into that. And this is going to be, I'm going to move pretty quick because some of this is a review for some of you, but I am being told by you, at least I was told by Shamako and Nathan and Kendall just a few minutes just outside the studio here, that sometimes when I'm doing this and when I'm saying it just sounds like wang, 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 wang. I don't know if I don't know how many people it's like that for. That is terrible feedback for a teacher. Terrible feedback. But it's good feedback. Let me say it's, and I'm learning when it comes to being an energy worker, you don't need to define stuff as good and bad so quick. Just let it sit in neutrality, and then you dance with it, and it always turns to good. And that's sort of mentioned in the Bible. It gives a principle that says all things. For those that love, operating in love, those that are sitting in a love space and are clear on their purpose, everything. Do you have purpose, clarity, and is love your religion? If so, everything that happens in your life doesn't need to be defined as bad. No thing in your life needs to be defined as bad. It's just an energy occurrence. And you sit with it without calling it anything, allowing it to sit in neutrality. And then you work with that, and it always works for your good. See, that's how you're supposed to read your biblications, not literally, and think you got to love a Lord, a king, a master, which are titles that do not explain God, that do not explain maker, source, creator, divine intelligence, great grand spirit. None of that does. That makes you a subject. And so there's a twist that is in that text that only the decolonized and the deconstructed mind can detect. If there's been no Africanization of your Christianity, you can't see it. But now, because I told you, when you pick up your Bible, you're going to start seeing not just that text, but every text that has an intentional twist in it to make you a subject and not a son. That'll make a good IG clip, Nancy. All right, anyway, I'm already off subject. I get to talking and get off subject. Let me know if you're in the chat and you ain't scared to say, okay, I'm watching. All right, I'm watching, Larry. Okay, I'm watching. I ain't gonna say nothing else, but I'm watching. I want to hear from somebody in the chat that you in the bush and you watching. I want you to take everything I say, or whatever part you feel like this that you want to take, and go tell somebody. All right. Okay, if you ain't commented yet, put in there, I'm watching. Just so I know you in here. Sharice, though. Is that St. Martin, one of my old St. Martin members? Says still speaking truth? If it is, hello. Good to see you. There are 406 of you watching me. I need for all of you to hit like, particularly, hey, Father Dow. Yes, I'm sipping coffee. Hey, Dashima. I enjoyed speaking with your daughter this week. See, Dashima is one of the people that I opened up my coaching, personal coaching to, which came with the trip to Dubai. And because of that connection and that investment she made in herself and trusting me, she was able to get me on the phone with her daughter, and I had an opportunity to help her this week. I absolutely love that. Coaching, personal coaching comes with its perks. Hey, Carrie, how you doing? Okay, Rosetta, I see y'all in the bushes. Candace, I just finished your personal prophecy about 48 hours ago. I hope you got it. Remember, you guys, check your WhatsApp if you are Celestial Circle. All right. Anita Howard, how you go? All right. Okay, I see you watching. Now, everybody hit like and share the link out. We're on the main platform now. Hey there, Pringle. Pops goes to Pringle. How you doing? Okay, so Nikki Ocho, Sandra Woods, how you doing? Hey there. Now I'm looking in the chat and I'm getting lost because y'all know I love y'all. Let me look. Hey there, Hilda, Julie Alexander, Latina. Okay, I know y'all took a moment and put down y'all breakfast sandwiches and put in there, I'm watching. You can pick your breakfast sandwich back up and go ahead on and just give me your ear. You might need to have a note-taking utensil though, okay? Hey, Miss Pat. Janae, I sent your prophetic word. Check your WhatsApp as well. And those of you that have done the supersede in the past month, in the past week, this past week since last Sunday, and you're not Celestial Circle, that means you're going to get the personal prophecy I did. It's going to be text from one of the contractors. But if you will go ahead on and become a Celestial Circle member today, then the next time I am sending you a personal prophecy, come directly from me. One of the perks of being a Celestial Circle is direct connect with me at any time. And so if you want to become a Celestial Circle member, go to mbnnetworkglobal.org and click Celestial Circle. And let's suppose you've already done a particular amount this past week. Do the difference of the $2,026 donation. Do that, and you're going to get into, not only did I call you with that, you get into the School of Prophets and Mystics. It's already started. So you'll get the first two sessions. The first session, the second session is about to happen. I think on this week, actually, it is. And then you get the first two sessions of a 12-week group coaching program that I have done. You get that. You come into the community with other technicians, professionals, and experts. It's so much. It's so much. That really should be around $20,000, but we're not trying to get money. We're trying to get something to you, and the exchange is as minimal as it can get. So $2,026 donation. The difference of that, let's suppose this week you've done about 500 donation codes. I've been on and working a lot. You subtract that from that, and the difference, just send that on in, and we will get the paperwork started for you to come on into the Celestial Circle. All right, so one of your contractors sent me a prophecy last June about a major move I would take, and it came to pass. I'm in Denver now from Austin. Of course, yes, anytime you get a prophet from this community prophesying, they are under the mantle of this house, and you are it's just like having some kind of connect on some level with, the spirit which I flew out of. So I love that. I'm so glad to hear that. But we only have two now, and it's me and Shamako. All right. And I have explained how you can get involved. Florine Jones, that name sounds so familiar. I'm glad you're watching. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the cosmic clock. Now, I explained this to you guys that the turning point is the theme of 2026. And while we was teaching like 2 or 3 weeks in, the spirit fell out of my mouth and said the tipping point. So we use the turning point as the theme for January, although it's for the entire year. In February, we're taking time to break down what the tipping point, because these are two things that sort of overlapping and explaining and sort of passing the baton between the two. So let me say this. When it comes to the cosmic clock, and I hope you've already typed it down, there's a cycle, a circle, a clock. It's what our clock really mirrors. I mean, plus some manipulation, but it really mirrors the heavenly clock. And that is an ecliptic cycle, a movement of the sun and of the moon and some other constellations that are timed, that happen at certain degrees. So each sign, there are 12 of them, each sign has 30 degrees in it. Put that in the chat. Each sign has 30 degrees in it. Now, look at our normal clock. I know if you are a youngin', you don't even know what a normal clock look like. You just see the time on your phone. But the normal clock, for the hand to go from the 12 to the 1, you got these 5 increments, right? So I want you to see a 12, quadrants of 12, and each sign, like the number on that clock, has 30 degrees in between versus 5, like the clock. Is everybody clear with that now? I hope you are. So it's 30 degrees in it. So whenever I say a planet is moving into a certain sign, that means it's approaching a 1, a 2, or a 3, and is moving into a particular sign, you need to know that that hand is just getting into that sign early. And when it gets halfway, you get into a different aspect of that sign. Then the closer it gets to the next sign, you get into another aspect of that sign. That's why some people, they say, oh, I am an Aquarius, but I'm on the cusp. I have an Aquarian Piscean energy that is on me, because it's right there at the 29 degree before the 30. Now, does that help everybody here understand this? Because I've been telling you for some time, we were coming out of 2023, going into 2024. I said we've entered Pluto going into Aquarius. I explained to you how whenever Pluto goes into Aquarius, certain things happen on the planet, certain things happen in America. And the reason for that is because of the birth chart of America. What do you mean, Reid? You and I, as well as America, was born at a specific time on the calendar at a certain time on the clock. At that moment you were born, a picture was taken of the entire sky, planets and all, and the angle, degree, and the sign and the house that your birth happened in tells a story of the probability of who you are or who you may become. Now, are we clear? I think that's breaking it down pretty simple, and I ask Spirit to help me be as simple as possible. So that's a chart, your natal or birth chart. And I can look at your natal and your birth chart and tell you plenty of things that will help you identify your possibilities and probabilities of who you may be or who you may become, because the heavens are telling of God and his glory. And the scriptures say they are there to give us times and seasons, and every sign and every star has a speech that gives knowledge. It was the Bible that taught Larry Reid astrology. I got inquisitive about astrology. I am the air, I am heaven, and I need to be loved. Well, I have only heard heaven in context of Black church. And that sent me to my books because I was a reader. My parents would tell you that they thought I was crazy because I read everything. And that I began to see in the text, and I went on a search. So when I'm talking to you about these things, it's coming from years of reading. I have not been to no school. But before all of that, I almost quickened. Baptized and filled with the Holy Ghost with the evidence of speaking in tongues. And I never stopped praying. And I ain't prayed in my personal time in English since I was 15. And I'm 48 today. So all of that in and out of spirit world and in the mind of spirit has brought me to this place. Now, you got it now. You got the clock versus the ecliptic cycle, also called the zodiac. The word zodiac is a proper word. It's not demonic. It is Mazareth. It is in your biblications in the book of Job. I'm going to say 38 and 36 or 38 and 40. Somebody put it in the chat because it's probably not right. The way numbers dance in my head. But it talks about Mazareth. That's the zodiac. Another word for the ecliptic cycle. And although it's 5 on our clock, in between each sign is 30 degrees. And I think we are clear. So 12 signs, 30 degrees, that's where we get 360 degrees from. Oh, yeah, I learned that in school. Thank the Egyptians, the Africans. That's where you get it from. They still can't figure how they were able to build these structures that align with the sky and the heavens and tell stories. They still can't figure it out. And we're supposed to be much smarter now. Ain't nothing new up under the sun. So that's how we get 360 degrees. If you're going to turn around, you stand to your feet. And I want you to turn around 360 degrees. And that's how God is going to turn it around. But although 360 degrees come out of the heavens and out of the zodiac, they're demons. But my preaching is God. Stupid, ain't it? Now it's going to make a lot of sense. So some preachers are just uneducated. They're just uneducated. Simple as that. Simple. Dumb. There are a lot of pulpit dummies, and it's very, very, very entertaining sometimes to me. Then other times it's very irritating. I'm like, well, somebody give somebody smart the mic. Oh my God. Do you been to school? You must have went to one of them white schools. For the summer. What you go to Liberty? You went to Liberty. Liberty. Why the white school called Liberty? Ain't never been liberty and justice for all. It's liberty and justice for white. You can take your black mind over there to Liberty? Oh, hell no. And get them put in a black pulpit and preach to my black mind? No. That is not happening. Unacceptable. Denied. No. All right, let's get back. So you got the 12 signs, 30 degrees, 360. You got it. Now, history moves in degrees. Empires move in degrees. Money moves in degrees. J.P. Morgan, Chase Bank says, millionaires don't pay attention to astrology. Billionaires do. Money moves in degrees. It's math. You ran from it. In spirituality, you're going to have to say yes to math. Your mouth, your mind, methods. That's what causes the movement. Mouth, mind, methods is what causes the movement now. Nothing jumps. Everything progresses in degrees. And we are not, I know it feels chaotic, but we are not in chaos. We are in degrees. Degrees undefined by black minds. Dante. That's why I call the Dante. When Dante McClurkin fell out at that stern wheel, and then he ran into everything. He walked away from it, so it's a proper joke. Dante. We are not in chaos. We are just in undefined degrees by the black mind. Are y'all with me? So you teaching, Tarumas ought to be coming in. You already teaching. I've been teaching the whole time. You get what I'm saying? It's took another the height. It's coming on in the room. So when you are in a situation under the sun, and it looks like it's chaotic, you are in a degree that's undefined by your black mind. Good Google a move. I know y'all probably don't know that word, but I'm from North Carolina. So, and your money moves in degrees. I ain't got time to stay with that. I'm gonna move fast. I gotta go fast. Okay, so let's look at America's birth chart. Now, if you have been in the Larry Reid School of Prophets and Mystics, we're in 2.0 right now. Even if you went in 1.0, you have some foundational knowledge. So what I'm about to share with you is going to make sense. Some of you are going to have to go and research. Take this whole live. You can dump it in ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to talk to you. But you got to give ChatGPT a prompt. Remember, white mind programmed it. Okay, anyway, and still in this beta phase, we are all teaching AI how to be even smarter and more human. So America's chart, America is a Cancer. Breathe. If you got some knowledge, like, so is. Oh my God, the whole country just so emotional. And this land is my land from California. No, my country, 'tis of thee. All of that is homeland security talk. And every Cancer cares about their home. If you know the Cancer side, you get it now. The whole home patriotism itself, Cancer. America sees itself as something that needs to protect herself. Homeland. This is our tribe. This is our family. And it must be kept safe. The only thing is that none of that ever included black people. So you're hearing me explaining white-souled patriots. That's what they say. Go back home. Get out of our land. And America's moon is Aquarius. You guessed it. Mm-hmm. So that means America is wired for innovation. And we have led in innovation for a while now. Wired for technology, wired for civil rights. It was in the stars for 1960s that happened the way that they did. Wired to create networks, circuitry, connecting all over. We got U.S. bases everywhere, networks. Wired for disruption. We are going to bring democracy here and bring democracy here and bring democracy here. And for years, the whole world has looked at America, the project, the idea, as something celebrated and to be marveled after and as an example. And America is wired to go in a spirit of war and rebel against the power that is there and set our flag and set the people, air quotes, free as I drink this here coffee. My God. That warring thing now that sometimes Aquarius do for the purpose of freeing somebody else and is coupled with America's rising, which is Sagittarius. Oh yeah, that makes sense. The Matador with the bow, a man at the top with an arrow and at the bottom a beast. Sagittarius. Trying to shoot its arrow and its idea and its consciousness in other worlds to expand itself. Mm-hmm. The Sagittarius is an explorer and likes to explore adventure. Okay, I get it where I'm living now. Mm-hmm. That's how America was founded. because white people want to be free from other white people. And so they explored and went and took the land from the indigenous people here in the States, the Americas. And we know the indigenous people were of African, Asiatic descent. They were not Indians, like we do, which is derogatory. No. The Native Americans are African, Asiatic. The Indians, Native Americans, that Indians come out of the white man's mouth, that is the engineering and also the, over time, the mixing turned into that. A Sagittarius has a global desire to adventure, to stretch itself. Oh, okay, I got it now. That's America. And it's descendant. Hold on, let me drink some water on this. Because those of you that have been with me for years and been trained, you know what all this means. The rest of you got homework. Its descendant is Gemini, which sits opposite of Cancer, when you understand the ecliptic cycle. Gemini is the master communicator and always the master manipulator of communication. Every sign has a shadow side. So the classical side of Gemini is masterful communicator, but the shadow side is master manipulator of communication. Gemini has a way to partner with people, trade, treaties, communication and media. Geminis are kissed with the ability to have that savvy on a mic or in a conversation, or maybe in their lover's ear or in their boss ear. They can talk their way into it. Typically, performers. Shadow side, media warfare. Shadow side, media lies. Shadow side, communication battles. We're in a perfect storm. America has been ruled by her descendant. Now, this could make her more powerful because your descendant is who you should partner with to get things done. But because the Gemini that is in the seat of power right now leans more on the shadow aspect, we have this that is happening. Pluto in Aquarius, America's moon is Aquarius. We have these layers, and now Uranus, because remember, the 4 planets to watch, one of them is Uranus, and in April, it goes into Gemini. Pluto, Aquarius, Uranus, Gemini, Neptune, Saturn, and Aries, which is fire. Mars, war. Mars, ruling planet, Aries. I know it may sound like a lot, but let's keep listening. And I told you I'm going to suggest the book to you. Here we go. Ready for the book suggestion? Y'all find my Amazon store link and drop it in there. Go to my Amazon store link right now and get this. And start studying it. All of the planets, all of the signs, so you can know it by heart. By Roy Gillett, Gillett. Go get it. And read this alongside of your Ethiopian Coptic Bible. Okay? And not your King James. If you're black, you are banned from reading the King James version of the Bible. I repeat, if you are black, really everybody, but if you are black, Western European Christianity constructed your KJV. You need to go to Africa. The original, most full, let me say that, the full canon, 88 books. Happened to be 88 books. And read that. Don't take it literal. Don't do the same sin you did with the King James Version and take it literal. Don't do that. You be messed up something, okay? So we got it. So now hear this. Pluto is in Aquarius. Pluto is power and death. Power and death. It's also rebirth. It's also exposure. But the two that I want you to focus on right now is the power and the death. White people left white people to come to the indigenous lands to do white people power death shat. It is ingrained in whiteness to erase somebody to be in power and do so by death and blood. All white-skinned people are infected with whiteness, but all white-skinned people has to deal with whiteness because it's in their blood. Are you hearing me? Pluto is moving through the same sign as America's moon. That means the emotional body of the nation is under reconstruction. Stick with me. I'm going to tell you some stuff that's going to blow your mind. It's going to and give you some hope. Because I'm going to tell you when things going to change for the better. Oh, we need to hear that, Larry. Please. Please. Stick around. I'm going to tell you when things going to get better. And because this is astrology, it's always on or around. Okay, so I'm going to tell you on and around when it's going to get better. But since 2024, you may ask, Larry, you say on and around, but everything you said since the beginning of 2024 that the star said, and then you tell us what God said and how these parallel, it's been to the date. It's been a little bit shocking to me, to me as well. But I found out something that made me understand why are all of my predictions really since 2020, but terribly since 2024, looking into the stars, and then what the voice of the Spirit would tell me, the angels and ancestors of my assignment, why have they been so spot on? Ladies, let's look at some parallels. I'm not saying I have caused anything, but I am saying I'm aligned with everything. In 2024, is when Pluto went in Aquarius. I am an Aquarius. Trump went into office as the 47th president, the same time, within months of me turning 47. I was born in February, Black History Month. In this month, a major civil rights leader died in this month. In this month, I turned 48. He died 84. Mirror. There's so much alignment between me and what is happening since 24. That is the reason why I can't get out of this. And everything I'm saying is hitting on the head because I'm aligned for the time. Nothing is coincidental. I'm not saying I caused anything, but alignment is definement. I was telling you about these 4 planets to watch before anybody was. And I say that humbly, but it was inspiring to me as I looked at these parallels. And it was also amazing and humbling when then I began to hear people who go to school for astrology, their whole platform online, these white women, white men, black women, black men, that's all they do. Then behind me, months later, some year and a half later, start saying the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. But the spirit, see, you got to have both. You got to have the ghost. Because the ghost, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit for the white evangelicals that may be watching in the bushes, that'll let you know stuff that science may confirm later. You hear what I'm saying? All right. Pluto is not attacking America. Pluto is exposing what America is emotionally built on. And that's why the public mood is volatile. Mm-hmm. This also explains why AI is going to start to feel like a weapon against the people because of Pluto. Because remember, Pluto in Aquarius is a 20-year cycle. The first 10 years of Pluto, first 10 years, that's 2024 to 2034. Correct? Those first 10 years are the exposure phases. Institutional distrust, first 10 years. AI acceleration and manipulation, first 10 years. Civil rights friction, first 10 years. Tech power consolidation. Now everything is online by handful. First 10 years, demolition, exposure. The next 10 years, 2034, 2044, is the stabilization of digital governance. Rewritten civic structure. AI integration is now normalized, regulated, and serves humanized. So that's when you really gonna get into the machine world. New power class is established. Social constructs rewritten. Hold on a little bit longer, women. Hold on a little bit longer, LGBTQAI+. Hold on a little bit longer, disenfranchised communities in USA, because social constructs will be rewritten. And I heard the Spirit say something to me that I wasn't going to say, but here it is. When the brown woman is in her power, not the presidency alone, but in every area of our government, this is when the world will change. We will have a brown female president. We will have a brown female ruling House, Senate, Congress, locally and nationally. When that happens, we will have the new America. And it looks like it looks like it's going to be happening, and we're going to see steps towards it, but it hits its peak somewhere between 2036 and 2044 is when all of it's going to turn brown female. That I know. So now we understand Pluto's journey. We're in the demolition, and in the exposure. Mm. So Saturn and Neptune are in Aries now. And we talked about this a year and some ago that we were coming up on this. Because remember, they went in, remember the clock now. It get over there in it, but sometimes it'll dart back and then come back and go through its 30-degree journey. They were on their way to Aries. They were on their way to Aries, but now they're in it. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been a conversation amongst astronomers, not just astrologists, for years, that the world began at 0 degrees Aries. These two planets are structural planets. All 4 of these planets we're mentioning are structural planets. And 2 of them fell at 0 degrees Aries on February the 20th. The same day Trump said, F you to Congress. And somebody would say, well, he just chose, he found a loophole. This is more than that. Finding a loophole to do something is one thing, but literally saying out of your mouth that Congress don't know what they're talking about, shouldn't have done what they've done. Basically, it's talking against the Constitution, as I explained to you guys. On that exact day, that marked a turning point that is the precursor to a tipping point. Saturn in Aries means new enforcement, new authority tone. His tone switched publicly. And he solidified in that same conversation new consequences that affect the American people. Neptune in Aries means a new myth, a new ideology, a new spiritual language. So there's going to be the lying truths and the truth-telling truths that's going to come up and begin to fight. And the lying truths are going to be weaponized and institutionalized against American citizens. Now, I told you Uranus is going into Gemini. Wait a minute. Another Gemini. Uranus is going into Gemini. Descendant of America, Gemini. President of America, Gemini. Get ready. Touch your neighbor, say, get ready. Now, that marks a financial disruption, shifting into communication disruption. So those of you that are wiring and transferring, especially internationally, you're going to need to right now make sure you got your process in the easiest space. If you're moving money overseas, you need to have a JP Morgan account. But even with that, the restrictions are going to get tighter. Those of you that have $1 million, 500,000, 100,000 in equity in your property, if you were ever thinking about pulling it out, you better do it quicker than later, because everything gets more restricted. The movement of money, the movement and travel between April 2026 and July 2027. More restriction, more restriction. Remember, we're in the first 10 years of Pluto, and this is how it's going to be. America's descendant is Gemini. Uranus is entering Gemini. President is Gemini. This activates these things. Listen, It activates voting wars, voting manipulation, trade wars take an uptick, travel restrictions, media manipulation, digital identity requirements shift and uptick, and conflicts that normally would be behind the White House walls come front and center in front of us all. The next war that we're entering into is a language war, a narrative war, and it is going to play with the mind of Americans. But this is necessary for Trump Gemini, America's descendant Gemini, Uranus and Gemini. It means, and if you understand descendant, that Trump activates negotiation conflict internally and globally. And this Gemini, remember, is ruling the narrative, the media, the messaging, and the information. And he's doing it through his oligarch friends who now own everything. I am so, the moment I post anything about Trump, about 5 white no-name accounts come up under there attacking me and praising Trump. I ain't never seen them. It's something robotic using AI that they have set up, and it hides everything. Okay, so for those of you that are just tuning in 2026, I begin this conversation in 2024 about 225 to 2030. That's the pressure corridor. And we're in 2026, getting into the tipping point energy is getting more visible. In 2025, these 4 structural planets were in a preview. Saturn, Neptune, going into Aries. We started with these ideological tensions, started to rise. Now in 2026, and I said this would be this way, that it's more visible now. 2027, there are going to be structural confrontations between the state and the federal level, almost like the state's been divided into 2 or 3. And what is said publicly and communicated is going to shock American citizens. And just like now, at that time in 2027, even more economic volatility, another cycle of it. So those of you that are going to be playing in the stock market and those of you with assets, you need to begin to position yourself right now for this volatility that's going to continue for a while. 2028, power realignments accelerate. At the same time, new tech governance frameworks, they begin to form. And you start seeing who is going to survive structurally. The left or the right? Or is there somebody else coming up that's going to divide the left and the right? Another party, a people's party maybe. Another voice that we aren't hearing right now. 2029 to 2030 is a reorganization phase. New rules become normalized, and the loudest panic period will be behind us. 2029, 2030. Okay, we start coming out of all of that. We get farther I said on or around 2029, 2030. So the farther we get into 2031, we get farther and farther away from the panic period. So 2026 to 2028 is exposing. 2028 to 2030 is the reorganization. Things starts getting macro better in America. 2034, 2035 is when we start seeing, okay, things are going to be headed in a new direction. And the reason for that is because Pluto is deeper into Aquarius. Because remember, Pluto's goal is renaissance, not destruction. Pluto's eyes are on a better future. So that's its purpose. And so by then, Saturn's going to be matured into its Aries. Neptune going to be matured in its degrees into the Aries. Now I'm saying that you got it now because you listened to me at the beginning. And Uranus is going to be settled more in Gemini, not that darting back and forth. So 2034, 2035, the system shock phase is over and the restructuring phase begins. It will be then in the second 10-year period of Pluto. So new power architecture starts to feel stable. And this is the reason why I project that the prophetic word I heard about the brown female is we're going to begin. This is why I projected looking at the stars. It'll be somewhere between that latter 2030s, early 2044. Because 2044 is when Pluto has completed its work. And now we are much better. So this collapse of the U.S., because this is this 250 year, and it happens within the 2 or 3 years after that. This collapse language, when you hear somebody say it, you need to understand that they're talking about restructure. That they're talking about, there'll be some aspects of collapse, but as the whole is just restructuring. It's not a total collapse. It's the collapse of the unstable. That's a good way to put it, Reid. Got it? This is institutional rebirth that Pluto is wanting to do. And we got to go through these phases. So, and the Noah story that we discussed, because that is our basis. Right here, screenshot if you ain't been around. As our prophetic prototype, Genesis 7:16, and they that went in, male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him, as the Lord, shut him up. The flood is the aftermath, not the tipping point. The tipping point is when access ended. The door is not closed yet, but all of you that are listening to me need to be getting repostured in this tipping point. That's why we're doing the reposturing, the tipping point reposturing seed today. The story of Noah explains and exemplifies accumulated pressure, containability exceeded, accelerated immediate consequence, irreversible damage, compulsory repositioning. That compulsory repositioning is going to happen once the door is shut. I explained to you guys what the tipping point was. The tipping point is the moment when accumulated and cumulative pressure exceeds containability, forcing accelerated immediate consequence, irreversible damage, and compulsory repositioning. And that's where we get this from, because we see this in the story. This is why the Noah story is our prophetic archetype. I gave you this prophecy here. Spirit said this. This ain't no stars talking. This is the Holy Ghost says, February marks the beginning of the next phase of intense and extraordinary events that will be happening globally, constructed catastrophes, and the increase of deceptive narratives that will lead to a new type of war. Monumental moments fill the air from February forward, escalating endings, closures, flips, dips, and constitutional controversy. You have entered the tipping point, the pressure point. More on the prophecy says, the praying person receives relief from the drama of the global trauma that citizens are in energetically because of alignment. Alignment is your way out of the drama trauma energy. And Spirit says, I call you into a realm within the spirit world where the unthinkable and the unpredictable would be told to you ahead of time. We've already experienced this because this is released on the 1st of February. You will unlock strategies for your personal, mental, emotional, and professional wellness and wealth. Your brand and business will build in the worst of times at the same speed of your personal growth and willingness to let go. You will unlock the forgotten. You will begin to remember the wisdoms of the ancestors and the sages that were before you, that you are a continuation of. Make new money moves. Don't negotiate your peace. Don't stop your pursuit. Put your wellness first. I gave you this at the top of the month because these amazing things that happened February the 1st over the last century, and how it mirrors the same thing that happened now. Whoever comes behind us will be able to look back February the 1st and say, this what happened February the 1st, 2026, because a pattern here. Saturn enters Aries February the 13th, and I explained all of this to you, and now we are here. Got it? So everything's coming together now. Turning point is awareness, tipping point activation. 2026 visibility, everything's visible that we talked about in 2025. And 2027, 2028, the pressure builds. 2030, adjustments begin to happen. 2034 to 2035, a stabilization energy comes in. And then we're on our way to the last 10 years of Pluto. We headed to Renaissance. You do not panic at the tipping point. You position yourself. Because remember, the degrees tell you the direction. Direction tells you preparation. Preparation keeps you afloat. Although the door may be shut, you pass the tipping point time and the water is rising. Even if you prepared late, you still can stay afloat. You're not at the end right now. We aren't collectively, we're in a transfer of power. And we need to be building while the rain is falling. Are you hearing to me? And this is the reason why I gave you this. I only went through 3 of them. The personal tipping point audit. You need to be auditing yourself at this in this tipping point energy. Number 1, we've done a money audit. We've done a business audit. And if you're in my business coaching class, this is the best time for that. That's why if you can get in it today, you need to. And number 3, we did a health audit because your body needs to be able to handle this pressure, prolonged pressure or stress, and sometimes anxiety that we're under. So you have to change your diet so that you can make it into the Renaissance period. Now, let me give you 4, 5, and 6. And what am I giving you? Personal tipping point audit. Go back to last Sunday to get the first 3. Faith audit. Now, at this point, when you hear faith audit, the first thing your mind should go to is Neptune, because you know what Neptune is going to do in Aries. It's already been happening. Remember seeing all these prophets fighting over this last season online, and people, you got preachers in the pulpit talking against astrology, talking against being black, talking about you Christian first, then you're black. All that kind of going on. You ain't supposed to be in the divine nine. They demonic. All of that. Neptune doing what it's supposed to do. Larry's back from Dubai. I ain't. Dubai. I am not. I'm still in Dubai. But it's good that you think that, because, you know, we got everything. Come on, MBN Network, Global Studios, everywhere. All right, let's do a faith audit. Decolonization and deconstruction of the Abrahamic faiths is inevitable, cannot be escaped. It's going to happen. In Christianity, you got the Christian mystics that are coming for. In the Jewish community, you have, God, I can't think of their names coming for. The Jewish mystics, let's call it that. In Islam, you have the Islamic mystics, which is actually the Sufism. These are people who are rooted in their Abrahamic faith, but they have sort of expanded into more spiritual practices and more mysticism. But it starts with the decolonization and the deconstruction. And if you are a Christian in the West, Europe or in the West or anywhere it was colonized, you need to be actively in the atmosphere of a deconstructionist that is a futurist as well, helping you peel this onion that your religion puts you in so that you can fully and more deeply embrace God, Allah, Yahweh. Those are all of the names of these three Abrahamic faiths. Okay? Is your faith aligned with your core practices and beliefs? Or are your faith systems and practices inherited from your mom and them because of the family that you were born into? It's time to question what you believe. Belief systems rooted in fear and supremacy or silence are being questioned. Language about God that protects systems and structures more than it does people. This is the reason why we are deconstructing from calling God King, Lord, Master, Ruler, because these are Roman titles of men in power. And whether you know it or not, it subjects you and depreciates you in your worship and in your spirituality. Call him Father. Jesus called him Alyaya. I ain't saying that right because you're my speech thing. Ayala. From which some believe, when you look at the way it's spelled, it is where Allah come from. Allah, A-L-L, all. God is all. God is my all and all. We believe that he is father, mother, doctor in the sick room, mother when your mother is, but then you hear somebody say God is father and mother. What the word are you talking about? Well, your song sang it. You won't listen to yourself. He's all. Jesus only called him that and Abba. That's it. And we come up with Lord, King, actually God, that's German, all of that came. And there are constructs that construct in your consciousness silently. You don't know why you're okay singing a song that depreciates you. I am nothing, you are everything, you save me, Savior. That whole concept came out of the empire that rooted itself in Pauline scripture and Paul's interpretation about a Jesus he never met. All that's been questioned. Neptune, faith audit, faith audit. When your faith collapses under questioning, it is not your faith. It's somebody else's told to you. It's what you have embraced. It's what paid attention to you that you didn't pay attention to it, and it planted itself in you. Can your faith survive facts, truth, history, contradiction, questioning? Do you close the door the moment a question comes up about what it is you believe? I'm going to tell you right now, there's some beliefs you really didn't believe that you just embraced that are going to die in this phase before you are entering your next. In fact, if you feel like your faith is superior to everybody else's, you're going to be limited in business and in dealing with other people if you don't respect what others believe. See, you cannot be a Muslim without believing in Jesus. But you can be a Christian and not believe in Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Allah, the use of that description of God or name of God. We embrace more of the Jewish, which we should, because we basically ripped off that faith, and that faith, in my opinion, ripped off African spirituality. And we say, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. That ain't what we spoke. No, that's Jewish. That's the original name of God. Lies and deceptions. And 10 not telling the truth. It's just not true. And we make that right, Yahweh, which is Jewish word, but we can't call him Allah because that's the Islam way, and they demonic and blowed up the Twin Towers, and they're going to bomb everybody. That kind of crazy. It's, oh my God, a mess. Faith audit. Ask questions. Ask your faith, your beliefs questions. And can it stand the questioning? We're going to begin to see revelation over religion, discernment over religious dogma, ancestral memory getting triggered. Sankova is happening in our consciousness. And we're imposing it upon our theologies like our ancestors did. Hence, we ended up with hoodoo, because hoodoo ain't nothing but African religions, practices, and spiritual systems mixed in the white man's version of Christianity. And we took Psalms and we began to use it for spell work and rituals, for folk magic. And we begin to do some things. Number 5. Let's got number 5 and number 6, because this is your personal tipping point audit. And then we're going to do the tipping point reposturing seed. Everybody here at least going to do $52.22. This is the second and the 22nd. So that 222, we're putting that as a seed. We're not doing offerings. We're not doing giving. Thank God for the law of reciprocity. You give, you receive. But we're doing something deeper. We're putting a particular number and seed and calling it something in the ground. Seed, time, harvest. And we're determining what we're going to harvest by calling it a specific thing, money and the thing. Relationship audit. Now, this is tough. Relationship audit. Relationships sustained by obligation and not alignment are going to begin to fade. If you are being paid by an entity as a contractor, your work and job performance has probably got you this far, and possibly even relationship with that entity or employer or time on the job. But in your spirit, you ain't aligned. Can't go inside the ark. Those of you that have had access without accountability, poof, thin air. Can't go inside the ark. Those you have to keep explaining the same darn thing over and over and over and over. You've been drained through constant explanation. Relationship disappeared. Can't go inside the ark. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Those relationships in your life that do not stabilize you spiritually, psychologically, financially, can't go inside the ark. The destabilization of it all is under pressure. If you're on Facebook, hit like. If you're on YouTube, hit like. Share this. This is going to save people life. CEOs, business owners, heads of household. Who is benefiting from you because you don't have boundaries and never said to you that they were benefiting while you didn't have boundaries. And now that you're creating boundaries, they seem confused and got a lot of questions. Can't go with you inside the ark, Noah. You've discerned the time. You smelt the rain and started building. They helped you gather the wood and hammer some nails, but never had a revelation of your vision and who you were. Can't go inside the ark. At this point, moving forward, boundaries over the theater of loyalty. You're real loud when it comes to that particular entity, that particular person in your life. A lot of theaters around your loyalty, but when boundaries are set or when clarity is given about what you're supposed to do, now you move out of the theater of loyalty and you go into this very theatrical protection and explanation of the self. Can't go inside the ark. It don't matter the history. What matters is the alignment. We're talking about relationship audit. Can't go inside the ark. I feel this in my belly. I feel somebody breaking down. And you need to let yourself break and repent to your own self for messing in the face of your destiny and your purpose. And allowing somebody to mess in the face of your destiny and your purpose. Alignment over history from here on out. Alignment over history. It don't matter how long. I feel like this is the best I've taught this series all month. It's so clear. The circle must shrink. How many folk went into the ark? I think it was 8. Coincidence? With my life, this number, this ministry? No. This moment? No. Shrink it down to the 8. It may not be the exact number 8, but you get what I'm saying. It's too many. Fewer voices equals clearer direction. Fewer circle means it costs less for the circle to move. It means that there's less revenue used to move from point A to point B. It means that you do not have to deal with the recollection of a big collection when you narrow it down to the chosen few. They were 12, but then there was the inner 3. Come on in here and teach us Jesus. Number 6, last one. A systems audit. Oh my God. If you are in band, this is the reason why today you should make a decision to the $2,026 Celestial Circle offering. You're going to get a call in prophecy from me. You're going to get the first 2 sessions of this band. Ooh, when I tell you band, it's nuts. If you're a business owner, you need to be in it. You're also going to be able to get into the School of Prophets and Mystics. And more than that, you have a direct connect. You got me in your pocket, your personal prophet in your pocket on your cell phone and in the Celestial Circle community with all these other experts. You get priority seating at our event, July the 24th through the 26th. Taking your brand and business global, and you get to be in all of these sessions and all of this teaching from some of our top minds in the Celestial Circle. You see that Stripe link hit, you need to hit that. Or go to mbnnetworkglobal.org and click Celestial Circle and do it right now. Systems audit, because we masterful conversation we're having about systems, and Glow is actually pulling everything together. You should get that email this week. I seen the last one she did. She's doing the 4th one now because we've had 4 classes. and each class is 1,000. So that's why when you do the Celestial Circle, you get the first 2 classes, but you get the whole School of Prophets and Mystics. All right. System. What breaks when the pressure spikes? In a meeting I had with the contractor, I said, tomorrow, if we increase by 200 new partners that are consistent every week, do we have systems in place, or we need to create systems in place? When this ain't right, this one person hit us back and say this ain't right or this ain't done, either our explanation or our process. I'm not going to mention the stuff I'm saying in band, but that's one of the qualifications of the process, or how successful the company is the process. So when the pressure is on, does the process break down? You got to have contingency plans in your system. First, we got to have a system that works. And having a system keeps from emotional decisions being made or over-reliance on certain people. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The system should balance the work. It should increase efficacy, efficiency, income, revenue. The systems in your life, your money system, your health system, your time system, your administrative governing system, your mobility. Which of these systems are breaking down whenever pressure increase? You must implement a new system. Systems over wishing. Systems over hoping. Your system is the key to your success. Systems bring about success. Success is sustained by systems. What is your system? And sometimes we mistake us doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result that is a result that at least keeps things sustainable. We mistake that as a system. No, that's redundancy. We want efficiency. That means we get better and better and better and better. Well, maybe next year, okay, we predict this year we're going to do 5 million. No, we're not operating in prediction. We're going to prepare our systems for generating 5 million. That's preparation. We're not going to operate in prediction. So I want you to look over these 6 things and do an audit. Are you ready for the tipping point? More than likely, there's at least one. I'm going to say all of you, at one of these, you got to, at least one, you got to do some work. You got to reposture. It starts right now with your tipping point reposturing seed. Now, if you can do $52.22 easily, the text tell us that every time we give, we need to be cheerful. Don't nobody need to be twisting our arm, and it needs to be a sacrifice. Which of these 4 levels of giving is a sacrifice? That's the one you choose. The moment you choose that level, because we all at different levels of our faith and finances, I want you to right now hit that link. Your tipping point reposturing seed goes to MBN Network Global on the right. On the left, that's you saying, Dr. Reid, thank you so much for this teaching. That's a Teruma offering or a Teruma tithe, if those of you that are on the financial wellness plan. So look in the chat. It's already pinned at the top from what I'm told. You get to decide what level. I ain't twisting nobody's arm. However, those of you that are helping us at a certain level, such that we're going to give unto you, and we can see and we can hear from God, and we have certain senses and abilities that we're going to use on your behalf. Kendra, make sure you start everyone that's in the chat telling me what they have donated. so I can recognize them before I leave. We have 10 more minutes. So give quickly and then put it in the chat. Let us know. I mean, so quickly. We're not doing giving. Seed time harvest. You're sowing these intentional numbers. You're calling it the tipping point reposturing seed, or maybe you're in a different kind of situation. You're calling it something else, but name it and date it somewhere and circle the calendar when you sowed the seed and expect your harvest of money and the thing you called it. So the donation links are at the top of the chat pinned. And the moment after you do that, come back to the chat and tell me what you gave for Taruma and tell me what you gave as a seed so that I can recognize it, call your name, and thank you for supporting what we're doing. Shout out to Tanisha1179, who became a new member. That's great because I just posted some things last night in members only that would never be discussed on my main platform, ever, never, never, ever, never, and ever. If you're on YouTube and you're watching me, say, I wonder what he got to say about this. I wonder what he got to say about that. Go on over there to members only. Thank you, Tanisha. I just attempted to order the astrology book and it says it's out of stock. That's because of y'all. Do you know when more books will be in stock? Just continue to check it or type the author name and book online. Maybe somewhere outside of Amazon has it. But I know y'all just did that. So they'll be back soon. I am Haithcott. I just sent you a prophetic word, and now another one will be coming to you this week. Can't get enough of that. She done the super seed. Or you telling us the one you did last night. Maybe that's what you're doing. CJ Tabira done Taruma offering tipping point reposturing high performer. Shamako is going to be calling you and giving you a prophetic word. Nicole Johnson says she sees the book in stock. So baby, go back to the link, reload, and see what happened. You need the book that I've referenced in this and learn it. Carrie Jones, Super Seed, I get to minister to you this week. Thank you so very much. Letitia Murphy, Partner Seed in Taruma, sown for clarity on relocation out of the country. Great. Enjoy those years outside the country. I know some are going to be gone for 5 years, some for 10. They ain't coming back until stuff look right. Leave some of your wealth in America. Don't take all your wealth out, but make sure you are wisely invested and you're not too heavy and diverse across things. Remember Ecclesiastes 11:1 tells us in times like this, you should do it anyway, ship your grain across the water. Make sure you got 7 to 8 streams of income and don't be heavily invested in not one market, but several. I was like, hey, the sold this morning. Okay, thank you. Erica Count, Super Seed. I get to be with you on this week. Joseph, Luciana, how you doing? Shamako's calling you with the preferred word. Tam, thank you so much for your Taruma and Partner Seed. I am going to ask on tonight, today was tonight for me. I'm going to ask for 6 people to do the Super Seed, 6 people to do the High Performer, and 6 people to do the Stakeholder, and 50 people out of those that are watching to support to seed $52.22. If you don't have $52.22, so something, if you got something out of this, it's just right to give because you have received. Dr. Stephanie Landon, the Partner Seed, and 5222 Taruma, thank you so very much. Dorothy Curtis, as you done High Performer, Shamako's going to be calling you. Thank you so very much. Beverly Sweeten, done Stakeholder. Wow. Shamako's going to be calling you. Nicole Johnson, I get to minister to you again. I just sent you a prophecy. Super Seed. Make sure you guys check your If you select the circle, check your WhatsApp because that's where I like to send them. Naomi done high performer. Thank you so much. They're already coming in. We call fourth. Did I say 6 or 7, y'all? 6 supersede, 6 high performers, 6 stakeholders, and 50 partners. We call that in. Granville, this stakeholder, thank you, is coming in now according to our mouth, our mind, and our method. Akeem, every time I see it, it bless me. High performer, Shamako going to be calling you. Julie Alexander, partner seed. Then Taruma, thank you. Lorraine Bennett, Taruma, and a high performer seed. Thank you so much, Lorraine Bennett. Abdelin Faison, I ain't mean to click on that. Abdelin Faison, high performer, Shamako going to be calling you. Thank you so very much. Marina, Handy, Taruma, and C, thank you so very much. Mother Irene, which is the eldest here, a little bit more than partner C, $62.22. Can we use PayPal? No. PayPal is not a global thing for a entity like ours. So no. But click the Stripe. It is next level than PayPal. Use the Stripe link. Get used to it. We're in a new season, a new time, Solomon, and try that out and let me know when you've done that. Lahoma, she's the reason why I was late today. Lahoma, is your fault. I told her I was going to blame her. High performer, Shamako's going to be calling you. Kristen Patton, how you doing? Thank you, Partner Seed and Taruma. Shanae, Partner Seed, thank you so very much. Vonda Simmons, high performer. Thank you. Shamako's going to be calling you. I think this is stakeholder. Thank you, Leah Edwards. Shamako's going to be calling you. There is no PayPal. Please use the link. Do not use PayPal. Nope. You can do Zelle as well. Look on the screen. That is it. Oh, Tara, I get to call you this week. Great. Can't wait. Thank you for your super seed. Gary Saunders, how you doing? High performer. Shamako's going to be calling you. Tell your dad I say hello. Taruma and high performer. Thank you very much. Cartrice, Shamako's going to be calling you. Thank you, Farrell. How'd the baby? I hope you're doing all right. Taruma Tithe and a little bit more than the partner seed. Thank you so very much. Marco has never given me a word the way that he did on yesterday. I was in tears almost all day. Yeah, there's something. It's something. The eyes. We come here and we see stuff before it happened, and even some Junior. I don't know if y'all know him. Same thing. He has a prophetic gift, and around me 3 days a week. You better be saying something. It just it has a lot to do with this place and the prayer that goes on here 5 times a day, and the structure is sacred, such structure, and it just makes the person who is a mystic is just a great atmosphere. Troya, how are you doing? High performer, Shamako's going to be calling you. Latina, can't wait. I get to be with you. Super Seed, thank you so much for your support. And Granville is declaring it. 6 super seeders, 6 stakeholders, 6 high performers, and 50 partner seeds for the support of MBN Global. Thank you so very much for that, Granville. Agreeing with me. High performer Tawana Brown. Thank you. Aretha Henderson. I think I just sent you a prophetic word. Thank you for your partner seed. Check your WhatsApp. Danielle, high performer. Shamako's going to be calling, ministering to you. Ryan Fledger. Thank you so much. High performer. Shamako going to be calling you, Ryan. Monica Keon. Oh, you done the 333 Taruma. What you doing? That's a 9, a 6, and the 3. I see what you're doing. Monica Keon there. Shamako's going to be calling you. Thank you so very much. Sheba, partner seed song. Catherine, partner seed song. She said, I'm doing my Taruma on Tuesday. Okay, baby. Farrah says, baby girl is good. Baby boy will be here tomorrow. What? What you doing? Oh, God. Everybody around you fertile. You had a fist bump me and not shake my hand. I don't want none of that. Florine. Hey, Florine. Shamako's going to be calling you with a prophetic word on this week. Mother Ivory. High performer Shamako going to be calling you. I enjoy ministering to you this week as well. D. McCray. How you doing? Supersede. Oh, I get 2 minutes. Oh, great, great, great. Thank you, DM. I will be talking to you this week. Tiffany McCormick, how your whole family doing? High performer, Shamako is going to be calling you. Shamako did high performer. All right. I guess I'm going to have to call you. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who believes in and supports the vision and work of NBN Network. Thank you, CJ, for that. One of our advisory board members. Miss Lashunda, thank you so much for your partner seed. Janaea, don't be ashamed to put it here if you couldn't do the $52.22. Because see, if somebody gave the $52.22 and they can do the $522, and you done 32.22, see the way the principle work, it's a counting of what's left. Because very well, although on this end it looked like $32.22, on the back end you gave more than the person who just broke off a little. You see, that's how that worked. Janaya High Performer Seed, thank you so very much. Miss Rhonda Page, High Performer Seed song, thank you so very much. That remind me of the time he said, thank you very much. That's so funny. We are doing well. Thank you for asking, Dr. Ray. I love you. Listen, everybody that donates here, we recognize you. We put your name, and then I get to see it again in the Patreon. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Every donation today is counted all the way to 5 p.m. tomorrow. If it comes in after that for whatever reason, you won't see it posted. Am I saying that correct? Miss Pat, Soul, Mark, if you're here, am I correct in saying that? And it's the same thing on Wednesday and any other time. Yeah. Lucia, how you doing? Seen you in chat in a while. You doing okay? I love that. Because sometimes prophecy, the simple give comforts and exhorts. Have anybody ever had somebody that's talk negative to you or about you and that feeling you got? Well, the prophetic word is for the building up of your faith, and actually by these, me and Michael being prophets can create a new future for you. That's in the mantle of a prophet. So having the good word said over you, somebody who's yielded to spirit articulating what God is saying, is so powerful for you psychologically and healthy. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nikki Ocho, for your partner seed. You had it recently? No, don't tell me that. Don't even tell me that. That's my older sister, y'all. But I be acting like big brother. I can't do that one. Don't even tell me that. Ebony J. Black, how you doing? Thank you so much for your turning point reposturing seed. Thank you. If I don't care if it's $2.22, your name gonna be on that list. Thank you for supporting what we do, and do not feel like that because you can't do $522.22, there's something wrong with you and you pour something like that. No, that's not how that worked. You remember the story when the lady gave 2 pence and everybody else throwing, everything down there. And Jesus picked that thing up. She gave more than everybody in here because why? The measurement is on what's left. He said she gave all that she had. So let nobody make you feel a certain kind of way because you can't give what the seed they asking. And nowadays you got to see who asking for the seed because you don't even know what you're giving into and what you supporting. You could be supporting hoes. You could be supporting some everything. Or just they desire to go ride jets and buy cars and buy Louis. You just don't know. You do not know. Kendall done high performance. Shamar gonna be calling you. I was thinking about it. I didn't say it. You really, Nicole, helping me in a big way do this job. Cause I thought that, but didn't articulate it because I feel like I done talked too much, and I got to go. We got to go somewhere at 7:30. It's 7:04 here. Thank you, Dominique, for your seed. Thank you, Brown Sugar, for your seed. Larry, no, we don't list every. Yeah, I didn't say that. I know not that, but I said the list is curated. Ain't it about 5 p.m. tomorrow? That's like the cutoff. So y'all make sure I'm saying that right. It won't let you delete it. It won't let you delete what? Oh, Lisa Parks. I will be speaking with you. Oh, and also Charlene did Super Seed Plus. Thank you, Charlene, for your support. She didn't notice. I remember that particular year, 2023, and we was at the conference, and she stood up. I ain't gonna say the amount, but a large seed. I mean, as soon as it's time to sow a seed, bam. I was like, oh Jesus, okay, ain't know how I'm gonna pay that invoice. Because sometimes one invoice from the Reformation, which we done made some changes too. Y'all, I love these white chocolate covered pecans that's lightly baked. Oh my God, it's so good. And almost clear the entire invoice. It was 52,000. Thank you for your support. I'm correct. Okay. Denise got to say okay, and she better say. Thank you so much, Shelley, for your support. Thank you. All right, you guys. I gotta go. I'm about to be up here an hour. I started late. I'm gonna go. We're gonna see your donations and your seeds. And thank you. Please replay this. It's a lot of information, I know. Something I did not say that I said on another broadcast. According to the stars, it's a possibility that we could be looking at a change of power before the next election, either by disease or by assassination, or something just, I don't know, happens to where, and that would be middle end of 2027. That's what it's looking like in the stars. That's not a word from the Lord, and it's not even a prediction out of the stars. It's just because I've worked with this over here, and it's looking the same. Like, I ain't too sure, but I can say it and say I'm not too sure about it. Well, I'm still looking at the transit. Yeah, she jumped right up. I remember that. I said, I know that was the Lord. God. You see, I still got the program stuff. That was him. Wow, she said it convicted her. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Thank you. Did y'all enjoy it? Oh, Stan, great. So you believing in JD gonna run him up? It ought to be because of the Epstein file. But I remember somebody asked me, one of y'all asked me, like, when it first came out, I said, oh, no, I don't see that. I should check back with me in some months. I said, it ain't going to mean nothing. But you have to keep looking in the spirit and when it comes to the heavens. All right, make sure you get this book. Make sure you listen to this over and over. You should be all right. And you need to, if you're in America, you need to know America's chart, your chart. If you work for a company, find out when it started, get their chart. You can look and see, like the company going to be disabled in this time. I might need to start putting some money to the side or try to get another contract. Use it. All around you praying in the spirit and listening to the spirit. You know, the spirit can tell you something that the stars, you may can't even see them in them. Maybe because of lack of understanding. But you got the spirit. You just ordered it great. Yesterday was good, wasn't it? It was so clear. It's like the more we get more parts and go, it get clearer and clearer and clearer and clearer. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Khadija. That's nice. Crock pot chocolate and nuts. I don't know what you're talking about. How you do that? I'm eerily calm. It feels like I'm in protective. Ooh. I got it, Joanne. That could also be your ancestors, too. Nothing coming now. That the weather. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna let you go. Let's see how I want to go out of here. Get your merch. My answer is no. I'm choosing me. Go to ichooseme.store and order. Also, I've been talking to you guys about decolonization and deconstruction of your prayer life. We've created a chat GPT. Y'all drop the link in the chat to help you pray decolonized prayers. Now, many of you won't need this, but some of you will. Let's suppose you got a loved one, you know their first, their last name. You may even know their birthday. Put it in there. I need to pray for them. They have a job interview coming up, or they're in a psychosis or something. Help me with an articulation to pray. Because you don't want to pray. You don't want to be begging God. Out of the begging God thing. This chat GPT is to help you Africanize your prayer life. Mm-hmm. Deconstruct it. Put that in there. That chat GPT is programmed with my prayer and my consciousness, and that will help you. Also, I have been interpreting dreams for the years. Some of your greatest names that I would never share unless they did. And I took all of that years of knowledge and technology that is here by way of spirit and put it in that GPT. I want you to click the link, integrate it with your chat GPT and use it. Type your dream up somewhere, copy it into the app. Then copy it into the chat GPT. Then whatever it tells you, copy that back in your notes and create a dream ream. You need a reel of dreams, your dreams, because they're going to help you in your future, okay? So do that. That's been created with you in mind. And all of these chat GPTs are going to be integrated into something I'm going to tell you about after it all. It's going to already be up and running before I can tell you. But that part is basically a chat bot that I'm downloading all of me into. And you'll be able to go to a particular site. And just like you would with the chat GPTs, with the site in that app, you'll be able to ask me questions on some of the main things I teach. And it will spit the information back to you. It will be able to teach you on a topic for an hour or two, pulling out of me, but it won't be me physically there, but it will be my bot. So it's an amazing thing, and you need to look at what I'm doing and look at what you're doing in your business and how to get your business working with AI, because whoever isn't working with AI ain't going to have no capital to work with, you see. All right, I love you. You are rare. You're a rare breed. We're going to listen to that on our way out. God bless you. Love you. Wally, love this the way I say I know. I know you are a rare breed, but yeah. But I'm going to play God Don't Play By Me, because in that song I got encoded certain things that I want to put out in the atmosphere. Say the words.
Is this that I feel, but it's really real, a little too much for me. Wanna thank you for the life you give me, steps I take, really is amazing to me, always there for me. God, it really don't play about me, don't play about me. God really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. Really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, he really don't play about me. About me, don't play about me. Don't wanna be to me, but I feel all my enemies really underestimated me. I'll sit back, I'm gonna watch them all. One by one they'll fall, and nobody answered their call. God, it really don't play about me. Don't play about me. God really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, it really don't play about me. Really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, it really don't play about me. God, it really don't play about me. Don't play about me. God really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, it really don't play about me. Really don't play about me. God really don't play about me. No, it really don't play about me.